Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Lovecraft Country after show party. Today is our final episode, y'all. But before we get started, um, I don't want to introduce y'all. I'll introduce y'all damn selves. So, Ryan, Ryan,
Hello.
where are you? Who are you from? Where you came from?
I am somewhere between Artem and Maryland. Brother Ghoulish. So
There.
there you go.
Mark.
Well, I'm the Jim Crow South. So pray for me. So I'm Marcus. We'll get to that later. But go ahead.
Mr. Grae himself.
I guess that just makes me out of this world.
Okay. I love that.
You get those snaps. Take those snaps.
Yes. Oh, guys. So it's the season finale of Lovecraft Country, titled Full Circle. So, did you guys think everything came in full circle? I'll start with you, Grae.
No. There are several things. It may have been an editing choice of like.
Okay.
There's this could be a discussion about D and how we got the ending shot. Like, it didn't really flesh out her new armor. I don't even know what you want to call it. Let's say prosthetic for now.
Mechanical arm.
Yeah, and then couple that with Ruby's possible off-screen demise. Are we doing spoilers?
It's fine.
Maybe we shouldn't start with me.
Go. It's cool.
Just,
Wait, why is that? My bad, y'all. My YouTube just started playing on my phone out of nowhere. Literally, like, I didn't touch it, and I just heard Grae on my phone. I'm just like, okay, cool. Yeah,
So
you're right about
if this is it, and we only get 10 episodes, like, I don't feel like I had closure.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to say goodbye to my friends and their misadventures. Or I actually feel like everyone came into their own as a hero in this episode. I will say that. That's one positive that I'm taking away from this, is that regardless of... Actually, I was listening to a completely different podcast earlier today. If you guys don't know, and I'm not plugging them because I don't know them, but this is just fact. Shockwave's podcast became a different podcast, like Horror in Color or Dark Colors. Some with colors, I forget. But they were kind of addressing how good people in the right situation are good, but it doesn't mean they don't have their flaws, like we've seen with Tick this whole season. I would say he's an anti-hero, but I don't think he has the dynamic of an anti-hero. He's just a person that was asked to be great because of his bloodline.
Right.
And before that, he was still just a regular person.
Yeah. And he was very, I don't know, like, I wanted to love him in a lot of episodes, but then it's like I hated him. It was kind of like, real quick, like how I felt about Montrose is kind of like how I feel about Tick. It was like, okay, so Tick is our main guy in the show, but he just kept doing things that was just not making me not like him. So I don't know. That's just how I felt. Sorry, I just had to get that out. Mark, what about you?
I don't think it came full circle in a sense that it was symbolic. I guess they're trying to sit there and say that there was a sacrifice, but that was in episode 2. So, but I don't know. It like Grace said, I didn't care for the final shot. It was out. I feel like the final shot should have been before they were walking through the bridge with Tick, on the thing. And let it end with that, because it was kind of jarring. It was a jarring ending. Like, damn, that's it? Like, the fuck? But it hit a lot of season finale tropes, The plot twists were like a dime a dozen. There was a lot of stuff going on. and I'm like, Grae, I want more. I want more, but it's a part of me deep down inside that I already been burned by Watch Me this year. So it's like HBO, we need an announcement. We need it now. We don't need it 5 months from now. We need it right now. So
Hopefully tomorrow, wake up tomorrow and they'll be like, hey, season 2 coming next year or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Rye?
I felt like instead of presenting new elements, they should have invested all that time into just closing up the loops, because the montage at the end, if you rewatch it a bunch of times, there's like they're answering stuff, but it's going by like this. It's going by super fast. And so it could have been better if they would have invested some of the time they did introducing like new crap into just like spreading that out and really going into the pieces that led into the ending, because it just felt like I liked the episode, so I didn't hate it, but it just wasn't one of the stronger ones. This is such a strong season full of like really great episodes, and then this one just doesn't make that top spot for me. It just felt like they need to do a season 2 because they need to try it again. Like I didn't hate it, but they just needed to do. I was disappointed.
You know, I kind of agree with you on that. When I looked at, like, I didn't cheat, but like, it's HBO Max, right? So I looked to see how long the episode was when I started it. And I was thinking, oh, it's not going to be any extra time. Like, this is like the NBA Finals. You can go as long as it has to.
I thought it was going to be like an hour and 30 minutes. Like, he was going to get an extra 30 minutes, you know? Because the show's usually about like 54, 55, like 50 something minutes. Yeah. So we went over a little over an hour with this one, but it's just still not like that little hour just didn't do anything for the show.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Not at all. What is it that had the longest runtime? Can y'all remember?
Say it one more time.
What was the episode that had the longest runtime?
Episode that was runtime, because that's one that stayed. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
First episode?
The first or this one?
I might be able to see real quick, but it's probably the first one. It's probably the first one, but I can check real quick.
Yeah, maybe the first and this one. Maybe these two. I think everything else in between probably wasn't that long. But I feel the same way about with you guys. Like, it was super intense and there was a lot going on. I'm not gonna say I hate the episode, but it's still a lot of, I don't want to say plot holes, but there are still some things that just didn't make enough sense to me. And there was also, like what Ryan was saying, they just was moving past stuff too quickly for, you know, like just a quick explanation. Like for instance, last week we were talking about how, we want to know where Hippolyta, like, how did she come back? Where did she come from? And like, she just explained today that, you know, well, I just named myself Mother and bam, here I am. I'm like, all right, well, what fucking door did you walk through? Like, I need to know. The window with space, like, how did you get here? So, and then also like with the creatures, the Shoggoths and stuff like that, like I'm still like, there's still questions about them. Like,
yeah,
it seem like, go ahead, Grae.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
How come D can control the Shoggoth?
Yeah,
like that was never explained.
They flashed a piece of that in that freaking montage. Like Atticus was putting her hand like on the thing, and it was like, you know, like cooling under her. So like it was like, you know, synchronizing with her or whatever. But I mean, that was addressed with like 15 other things like this.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you, Dr. Lee.
Dr. Lee. Pilot was 1 hour, 10 minutes. Every other episode was 1 hour max. Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
I went in my phone to check, but I ended up on Twitter. I'm so sorry, Mark. I'm trash.
No, I was like, well, let me look at a rabbit hole. So I'm like, okay.
So,
sorry.
It's cool. Yeah, the Shoggoth, like I want to know how like she controlled it. Why is that one black compared to the others? There were theories saying that some people thought that Shoggoth was like Uncle George, but he was like in the Shoggoth or something because he's black, I guess, and he was like reincarnated into that. So there was just a lot of other stuff going on with that, and it's just like y'all made it a thing in episode 2 where you see Christina, helping the cow give birth to the Shoggoth, but they didn't show anything else like after that, like involving that. And I'm keep saying I'm gonna keep going on. Like I keep talking about this every week because I want to know. I want to know. But I guess we're never gonna get that answer. Maybe in season 2, who knows?
Plus,
But
we get Titus, and
Yeah.
we never know how come he knows or why his magic still works in death.
right.
As soon as he realized where he was like, "All right, I'm going out."
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like we don't get any. I don't know. I want more things fleshed out.
Yeah. Same here.
Him coming back felt unnecessary too.
I guess because they needed that other person, like the third person, to bind, them three and stuff. And I guess he was the only one. But it was just like, if he was going to do that, like Grace said, it needed to be fleshed out. They could have gave us an extra 30 minutes to go ahead and somehow did all of that,
Didn't like it.
Or a bigger showcase of power. Like let's see his range.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the only time we're going to see him. Let's chase him in the city for like 20 minutes
and the gag would have been, and what they should have done, because Christina, because they flat out just made her the super villain in this one right here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And throughout all the episodes, like we knew what she wanted to do. Like what we got in this episode, this was her mission, but she was still kind of like on that cusp of like, you don't completely hate her. She's not really a villain. She just, doing her thing. But in this one right here, I just feel like they just made her a straight up villain. That was it. What they could have done it was brought Titus back, brought him back, and then did something like that and like gagged us all and kind of made him like the next villain or something like that. Like he somehow came back from the dead or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
Because just bring him back, like Ryan said, it was kind of just like, all right, bam, 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 we got what we needed. All right, you're out. Like it was kind of I get it, but it was still kind of rushed. Like everything just seemed rushed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also with I expected more. Like I will say the characters that I love in this episode, Hippolyta. She's my favorite. I'm just gonna put it as that. Hippolyta is my favorite out of this whole series. Obviously, when the show started, I was Team Letty and stuff like that.
Mm.
And I still love her, but just seeing the other characters, Hippolyta is definitely my fave out of everybody here. And mine is George, but George died, so he don't count anymore. He doesn't. So what I was thinking too, because I seen the Twitter, on Twitter, if when you hashtag stuff and they got the little fun emojis next to the hashtag or whatever.
Yeah.
When you hashtag Lovecraft Country finale or episode 10, the emoji next to that one was like a metal hand. So when I seen that, and I seen that before the episode, I said, "Oh, they're going to do something decent with Dee and her arm." But I put 2 and 2 together because Dee's arm was all mangled and messed up. So I thought they was going to give her some like robotic mechanical arm, which they did. But they gave it to her at the end of the episode, and she just used it for which was a great scene when she strangled Christina. Yeah. But I thought that was going to be a little bit more useful. Like I don't know.
I mean, it just goes back to the spirit of what you guys are saying, everything being so rushed though, because in that flash, like yet again, like Hippolyta is doing the surgery to give her the arm, and the only way that you get a glimpse of that is because she's wiping like blood off and she's setting the towel down to get the letter for Montrose, and all of this has happened like this. And because they put it in the end of the episode, for me it felt misplaced. Like I wasn't really, and I didn't hate that she got the arm, so let me be clear, I didn't hate that. Like I mean, I guess I hated everything else. Like in that scene, I felt like it just felt like it didn't belong right there. Something about that scene felt so off to me, and I couldn't put my finger on it.
Well, it's because, or for me, it's because we don't know if that's science or magic. And if it's science, like, let's explain a little expletive of like why she knows how to do this or what type of metal it is. Where did she get it from in this time period?
Yeah.
Any of that. And, you know, I don't know how long it would take to explain that. But, you know, that was a definitive magic or science would have been nice.
I guess they're gonna leave it up to us because since Hippolyta can, you know, travel between worlds and learn new different things. Because she mentioned when she drew that comic book of her and D, which was adorable and cute. She said she learned that, you know, from whoever, from wherever. So I'm assuming that Hippolyta is just traveling in different parts, learning different things. So I guess they want us to learn that maybe Hippolyta learned how to make, you know, that arm and get certain things from certain places from where, you know, whatever world she traveled to or whatever. Because she's currently, not currently, but she's constantly educating herself and other worlds or whatever the fuck she's doing up there.
Yeah.
But I will say, I did like the scene with her and D where D was showing like she was just saying like, where are you? Like, where were you throughout this whole entire thing? Because that left us like wondering too. It's just like, all right, we knew where Hippolyta was at, but like it still left a question mark. It's like, all right, we know she cared for her daughter, but why would she just leave her daughter? You know what I mean? And not saying that Hippolyta knew what was going on down there because she didn't.
Right.
But it's just like I kind of felt for D. I'm just like where were you? Like, you're my mom. Like, so I don't know. Then back in my head, I'm like, damn, that was selfish. But no, it really wasn't. But then again, like I was just going back and forth.
It's funny because like the first person that came to mind when I saw that scene was Jada Pinkett Smith. Random, but like she did a Red Table Talk where she talks about like to be the best mother that she can be, she actually puts herself first. So it's the idea that like my cup runneth over, whatever comes over the side is for you. Whatever's inside is for me, because if I put myself out to make you happy without thinking about my happiness first, then I have these unrealistic expectations of my kids. So it's very like, you have to make me happy. You know, I'm living vicariously through you. Like, you have to do this because I've sacrificed everything for you. And it's a controversial conversation because I think like, and I'm not saying one way of mothering is better than the other, but it is more so, I guess, socially accepted that the mother sacrificed literally everything, you know, for their children, even at their own expense and happiness and health. And I think it's controversial to think about. And that was a good conversation because there is no like, you know, was D right? Was D wrong? Was Hippolyta right? Was Hippolyta wrong? Like Hippolyta felt something within her that needed to be fulfilled. And she went to go fulfill that within her. And because she did that, she was able to come back and actually help her daughter. Yeah. And actually not just help her daughter, but when you think about it, like help like a lot of other people who were in the situation because she helped herself first.
Okay.
I think the argument could be made twofold. One, as it relates to Jada Pinkett Smith. So we're saying that because she dates people of inappropriate age, that's why Willow dates people at an inappropriate age.
Oh my God.
Throwing that out there. Second, if Hippolyta wouldn't have left, wouldn't it be fair to say that D wouldn't have gotten in trouble? Because that was the problem, is that D was alone.
I don't think so, because like this is just my opinion, right? I think that what happened to D, what could Hippolyta have done to stop it?
Well, in my opinion with that is, if I feel like that probably wouldn't have happened because during that funeral, Hippolyta would have been there to console D, so D wouldn't have ran off and got lost and got into that situation with the cops. I feel like Hippolyta would have been there to, you know, be with her during her grief, where D wouldn't have ran off and got into the trouble that she did with, you know, Lancaster. Then he put the curse on her, and then bam, look where she's at now. I feel like Hippolyta wouldn't have let that happen, where everybody else was so consumed in their own shit that they weren't caring about what D was doing until after the fact. And then I even thought about it too. It's just like, even when D disappeared and she came back and she ran into Letty was just like you see like D choking, and then Letty's just like, oh, drink some water. This is like, why would you tell this little girl that like like you'll be okay? And it's like, Letty, I understand you have stuff going on, but it's just like, damn, like she lost her best friend, her mother's like, you know, her mom is not around, like what's going on? So I feel like if Hippolyta was there, I feel like D probably wouldn't have gotten into that situation.
I mean, but even as parents, though, we can't protect our kids from everything. Like, it's conjecture. Like, I mean, I don't really know. Like, maybe it wouldn't have went down that way, but I don't know. I don't think that Hippolyta at that point, knowing as little as she did, could just be as powerful and helpful to her daughter as she is now, as knowledgeable as she is. Like, we can't protect our kids from everything.
Yeah,
Plus,
that's true.
plus Hippolyta, before she went, she was already like, she was in her own mind about what was going on, what happened, what really happened with George.
Mhm.
So I feel like if she had been there, she still would have been like the rest of them in her own shit. Like, cause she had the what's the thing, the orrery. She probably been trying to find a way to open up that damn thing and whatnot. And so, but I feel like Lancaster still would have got his hands on D no matter what. He was just that damn determined. It would have been. It wasn't a matter of if; it was a matter of when. And so, but still, though,
But then you have to look at the situation that led up to that, because he found the comic book by the dead cop's body. If that didn't happen, if that whole situation didn't happen with Hippolyta leaving and going there, then that probably wouldn't have happened.
True.
She might have died though, because her being there because of the orrery meant that she was either going, because she was apprehended by the police when she was sucked up into like the portal of things. So she probably would have been dead.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, well, look, D came out. Hippolyta came back.
My girl.
She came back with her blue hair,
Yes.
which she looks good in. And she gave her daughter a mechanical arm, fuck people up. So yeah, cool. T2.
I was thinking
That's
that the
what I
whole
thought
time.
as well. Yeah.
I'm trying to see here. So all right, so what did you guys think about the scene? Like, rewinding back real quick, what did you guys think about the scene where they were trying to help Dee, because clearly she was turning into one of those crazy ass Topsy Mopsy. That's what I said. That's Mopsy. She was, and she looked crazy, cray. And they like fainted, and then they kind of like went into like, I don't even know what to call it, where they were speaking to like the like Tick. He started talking. Well, he seen his mom. He was talking to her Dora, and then I forgive me. What's that lady name that lady was talking to?
I can't remember her name.
I feel so bad because I like her, and I forgot her
I
name.
do too.
I don't remember her name either.
But I would check my phone, but we all know that's a portal. So
I'll check. It's okay. Y'all go ahead.
You're responsible, Mark. Yes, please.
I'm
If I
trying.
said.
Well, that
well,
scene right
Mark-
there. Oh, go ahead, Grae. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, while Mark checks, it's the one thing I didn't like about that scene, or not, I didn't like. The scene was fine, but what I would have rather had happen, is that instead of Dee being, or her psyche being transformed to that realm, I would have rather them gone inside Dee's mind and fight Topsy, Mopsy, and Bopsy.
Yeah, that would have been dope. That would have been dope if they did that.
Yeah, like I would have rather seen that play out. But I mean, what we had is fine. I was just thinking if I was in the writer room for season 2.
Well, I mean, hit up Shannon and the folks over there. I don't know, Grae. You be having some good ass ideas. So I'm just saying.
They also foreshadow Topsy and Bopsy because ever since y'all, I think it was you, Grae, that said that you look at the things coming in now, like the illustrations, and Topsy and Bopsy were at the top. So I would have preferred a top. I thought they were going to show up especially when Dee was in the car for that one scene when it was the Chagall.
That's what I thought. I thought it was going to be dumb.
I was waiting for the twist of the trees. I was ready.
Me too. I thought it was going to be dumb. I'm like, oh shit, they coming after you again, Dee. Get ready. But no, it was the show golf, and I'm just like, oh. And it was like, that's fine, but
yeah,
I prefer to see the twins, or whatever. But Hattie,
yes, Patty.
I like that. I went back and watched the intro again, and I realized that the intro foreshadows the season. Like you have Tick in the military, and then he's going back to what he thinks is familiar, and that's when it colorizes, and then he realizes that what's known is not the same thing, and Jackie Robinson saves him, but then ultimately Jackie Robinson can't save him. Kind of like he thought he was saving Montrose, but it didn't change the future like they thought it was going to. Right. So it's like, now that I know all this stuff, I can see where they were going with the narrative. But I never realized that the first episode, that little 2-minute thing sums up the whole season. Well, except for the finale.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't rewatched it, you should. It was fascinating.
Definitely do that.
Yeah.
I want it. Well, let's talk about some fun. Well, let's talk about before we get into the moment that I love the most in this show. We got Gia. Tick apologizes to Gia. This was a nice moment to me. Why are you laughing, Mark?
Go ahead. I got something to say. Go ahead.
He apologizes to her, and at first I was like, all right, he's only doing this because he wants something from her. But then at the same time, can you
the shade of it all?
Okay, Mark, what you gotta say? Because I can't continue.
I'm ready.
No, you said what I was going to say, because it came off as I need something from you, so I'm gonna come over here and sweet talk you and stuff. Like I'm like, this is typical
side chick material.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I need you because you got that good. You got that stuff I can. That way he talking about, but just like you can make stuff shoot out your. You're supernatural, and I need you on my side. Because it was just like she came back and he looked at her with such disgust.
Yeah,
and she just was like, you didn't see her no more at all. He was like, why she come back in the episode? Like, what is her point? And then when he sat there, said, I gotta go talk so bad. I'm like, oh hell.
Mm-hmm.
Go sit there and sweet talk her into coming to join the side of the Freeman family. So I'm like, well.
And on top of that, she was just posted up in the hotel the whole time, and he knew
right. Exactly. Like after that, when she first showed up, I thought she just went back to Korea. Like I didn't, but the whole time she's still here, unless we got our like times wrong or whatever. But I'm sure days went by. So, I guess she was in the hotel. I don't know.
The Heartbreak Hotel.
But I was happy to see her though. I like Gia, and she was useful.
In
but
the very first beginning of the episode, I didn't realize that was
her.
Her.
I did see that. Yeah. But I don't know. Like she was very useful at the end of this episode, and I did just feel some type of way that Tick. I like as soon as he did that, I'm like, yeah, he's just gonna try to talk to her because he just want to use her for something. So it's just like maybe some of that stuff was sincere, but I think he just did that only because he really needed her. But we already got Mark's opinion on that scene. What do you guys think about this scene? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I completely agree with Mark. Like, I was just like, that's really shitty of you, Tick.
Ryan, did you think the same, or are you just like?
I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was sincere, but now listening to you guys, I realized that I was just being very naive. I don't know. I thought he was really trying to make amends with her, but no, you guys are right. He was totally using her up like tissue.
Yeah, he was, but I feel like when she came out with like her mom died, it's like it changed the mood because she really has nobody to go back to.
Yeah,
and so that's probably why she didn't run back home, because she was in love with American culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's evident. You froze.
We do know that she looked back home. I'm gonna eat all this American culture if I go back over here, because this is the only thing that I know that's brought me joy and whatnot. And so on that level, I was glad that he brought her in. And then it's like it kind of, the whole family thing, because it's all about like who you choose, like who's your family, who you choose.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of that RuPaul scene with was it Roxy Andrews?
Yep, we get to choose our family.
Choose our family, stuff like this. So he brought her in. It's like there are broken pieces to a bigger puzzle, and they just decided to become a big, strong unit at the very last moment.
Yeah.
Because I guess this is Tick's ways of Tick's now the same way that the letter he wrote to his dad. That was like Tick's way of saying, like, in case this doesn't go right, I want to make amends for some of the shit that I did.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the pedestal of the group. It was like he was not a perfect man, because we said last week that one of the things I hated about Tick was the episode with Gian where he actually shot her best friend in cold blood, like boom.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I didn't know I know he was gung ho, but I didn't think he was like that damn ruthless. But so it kind of muddied him up a little bit, which I guess is a good thing, because I kind of like flaws in my characters and stuff. So, but at the end of the day, when he called the Drake Hotel, I was like, he's gonna try to do some smooth side chick shit. But at the same time, by the end of the conversation, I was like, I was the side chick, like, all right, then, Tick, I get it. That's how it was. Like, all right, I get it. What you need? Because he's a good game. If he's pretty good.
What's funny though? I guess the reason that my gut didn't automatically go to the side chick thing was I remember how scared he was when them tendrils came up out of her. And so I just never thought that he would want to smash again. But Tick has seen some crazy stuff since then, so I don't know. I mean, he might be into it now. She can incorporate them.
Yeah, definitely.
Some auto asphyxiation or something with them tendrils or something.
But hey, you've seen a lot of crazy girls sit there smash a dude's car out. Be like, you know what? You don't fucked up my shit though, but we gonna have to make this work again. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make this work. So, hey, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But that goes to a moment that I love so much, is when they're in the car and they're all singing like they're one big happy family. Everybody's getting along. You see Tick stop being so serious for once and break out his I guess he's a little bit more vulnerable. Everybody was just having a good time in that moment, and I enjoyed that a lot. Like, I enjoyed that little scene between everybody, even just seeing Gia there with them. She don't know none of these people, but I think that probably felt good for her, just because she don't have any family, and for her, and being so that she loves like American culture. So I was like, oh, she know the lyrics to this shit too. Okay, Gia, I see you.
That part makes sense because she loves musicals, so of course she would know songs. I did think it was weird to have the baby mama and the side chick in the car together.
Right. but no, they were getting along, because even before they got in the car, real quickly, I seen Letty and Gia together, and like it looked like they were working on something together. So they was getting along. So
it happens, y'all. It happens.
Yeah. Gia,
and we thought.
And it was that moment when he was just sitting there before they got in the car. He was just like looking at everybody, and I was just like, he know what he's about to do. I know damn well he's wanting to sacrifice himself, and he was just cherishing that moment with everybody just getting along. That was his family right there, everybody there. So that was a cute moment. I enjoyed that. I like little sappy shit like that.
Me too.
It was cute. Even Montrose was opening up a little bit. Lord Montrose. So guys, did you guys really think, because this played the shit out on me. Before they even got in the car, Ruby comes up, she's, because they needed a part of Christina to make the spell work. And Ruby comes because you thought that they had, I guess, sex, and something happened where Ruby was able to get that stuff. And I was living for that moment. I said, oh, well, Christina and Ruby, they're not taking the potion. They're into each other as who they are. And she was like, have you done this before? I haven't, or whatever. And they had that little moment, and obviously they cut away from that. But I guess that was on off-screen kill, because little do we know, and this is where I tweeted, oh my God, with all the exclamation points on Twitter, is when they were in Artem and they were fighting, and I seen that Ruby was well, Christina was in Ruby's skin. I guess that's how you put it. And I was just like, that was Christina the whole entire time. I was like, I couldn't believe that. Like that shocked me.
Yes.
What did you guys think about that moment? Like, did y'all knew what was going to happen? Or y'all like how Ryan looked right now? Was just like whatever.
No, because I wasn't surprised. Like the funny thing is, I was expecting it the whole episode. Like I was telling Emilio from the beginning, like it's going to happen. Like they're basically going to make it so that Christina's going to take over Ruby's body, and she's going to get clothes, and there's going to be a thing. So the first time I'm expecting it was at when she wore her Easter dress at the cemetery. And then when it really was Ruby, I was like, okay, they got me for now. And, you know, like we're okay. But then the second time around, I'm like, no, it's definitely Christina, because Christina obviously cared about her, but she's not about to let anybody get in her way. And she caught her staring at the vial of, I think she said it was like a mixing of like her blood, hair, nails, and bits and stuff. And she was like, oh, is there something wrong? I mean, Christina's watching everything. So I knew what was up. I knew what was going down. Yeah. I was upset though.
So y'all all caught that. So I was the only one that was shocked.
I was shocked because I was waiting for Ruby to do some stupid shit herself. Because I was like, Christina must get that damn good for her to be like, damn lady, damn everybody else. This white woman that gave me all types of life, and I'm gonna sit here and just fuck up all y'all shit in the name of, you know, whatever. But when it actually comes out that Christine is actually Ruby, I was like, damn. Yeah. Because I knew then for her to get into Ruby's body, she had to die. She had to die. I was like, this bitch. Ooh, I was so hot.
Me too. That was the part I was like, fuck you, Christina. I was giving you so many props on every after show. You do that to my girl. You do that to my girl. You killed Ruby. I can't forgive you anymore.
When got that damn car and it crashed, the first thing she did was run and check in on Ruby. So I'm like, okay, it's okay. She really do care about Ruby, because if anything else, she'd be like, who the fuck was this in front of, you know? But she was like, oh my God, Ruby, are you okay? Because she knew, I know I'm fine, but Ruby, are you okay? And then I was like, she sat there and killed this damn woman. She ain't got no screw. I was like, damn. Fuck. I was just upset about the fact that Ruby died, because I prefer this Ruby than the one in the book. So.
Oh man, but I don't know. Maybe in the second season, Ruby's not really dead, because they didn't necessarily show her die. We didn't see a dead body. We didn't see nothing. And I know that we know how the spell works. And, you know, somebody have to die. But this is Lovecraft country. At this point, anything can fucking happen. So, see me as though I didn't see any evidence and they didn't show that. I think that she's still alive. Okay. And I'm just going with that. They're just not tossing my girl out the window like that. Speaking of tossing out the window, why did they have to toss my girl Letty out the window like that?
That was so cruel. And like it felt like she was falling for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
When she landed, you could see like bones broke. Like it was just like, she gone. And I'm like, oh Jesus.
When that happened, I was like this.
Yeah.
Me too.
Right there.
I was just like, oh, I wasn't expecting it.
A hot second, I was like, okay, they're making this the series finale. Like when I saw her go out the window, I was like, this is what's going on here.
Yeah, kill Letty off. Yeah, they're making this. That's what I thought too. But speaking of that, like, how did she I must have missed what happened, but how did she kind of just like, I guess,
come back alive?
Yeah, like
so. This is what I think, because if you rewind that fast montage thing or whatever, you can see Christina in Ruby's body saying the words of Adam, like the spell that she uses for invulnerability, like from the window, like down, like looking down. But you have to rewind it to see it. And Letty, as a result, gets it back because she lifts it up and then you see that it's back.
Yeah,
So,
I've
in
seen
my
that.
opinion, I think that Christina did that because she didn't necessarily want Letty dead, need Letty dead. She underestimated that her power was fucking with hers in the first place. And the piece of her that actually did care about Ruby, like, respected that wish that she didn't want shit to happen to Letty. She didn't want Letty to die. She just, I mean, everything was just, I need my immortality. Like, if you're going to stand in between me and my immortality, then, you know, you got to go. So I think she restored her invulnerability just to go get her immortality and just move about her way to respect, you
Or
know,
she
the
was
woman.
being slick and was just like, all right, if this shit don't work out with Atticus, at least I got his baby in there, so I'm gonna keep her alive. If this shit don't work, I'm gonna get that baby.
Well,
Yeah.
see, I took it almost that way. I took it as she took the invulnerability away from Letty. She didn't take it away from George. She gave it to Letty, but because she's pregnant, it went on to George. So George can't die. And that's why Letty came back. That's the way I took it.
Oh.
Wait, so because she took it away from Letty when she walked away from her after they had that little conversation at the shop. So she took it away from her then. So wait, what you saying? So repeat that again, Greg. 'Cause I'm trying to.
When she originally gave it to Letty, Letty was pregnant. So if Letty and George had the same blood, I'm just calling it George because we know it turns into George later.
Okay.
She didn't remove it from George and Letty. She just took it away from Letty.
Okay.
So when his host died, Letty falling out the window, the spell kicked in to revive her so that George could live.
Why are you so smart? Like, come on.
I'm not saying that's right. I like Ryan's theory as well.
I was gonna say, like, I agree with all of y'all. I feel like by Letty being out the way, because she knew that she couldn't get to the ceremony without Letty being like incapacitated in some type of way. So I like both Grae and Ryan's answers. I feel like she gave it back to respect Ruby's wishes, but it was just like, okay, your ass is knocked out. I can go back over here. By the time you get up, Tick is gonna be dead. There's nothing you can do. That's kind of like how she was sitting there standing. She's like, she wasn't surprised to see her behind her. When she turned around, she heard Letty doing the stairs. She was like, girl, it's too loud, got it.
On a separate note, can I just say, Letty has to be the slowest runner that's always running in every episode and never gets a shit on time.
Which is funny and how ironic, because remember on the first episode, they made her run out to the car because she like ran track.
Yep.
So she's supposed to be the fastest runner. But in every episode, you're right. She's like...
You're too late. You're second place again.
That's messed up, man.
Here's your participation.
Oh, snap. That is so funny. Grae, you made me notice that now. That's so funny. Oh, Lord. So did you guys I thought at one point I thought Tick was going to end up surviving in some way, like something was going to happen, he was going to end up being alive, but I just knew that was just like a small chance that he was going to stay alive. I knew he was going to die.
Yeah.
But I thought that thought changed again when Gia got involved and she used her power, and I was like, all right, well, maybe Tick have some type of hope or whatever, maybe they can help him out or whatever. But I think at that point it was too late because Christina was already like, she absorbed everything she needed from him, because when Letty stabbed her, I'm sorry, when Letty stabbed her, she was like, it's too late, like you can see it was, but you know, Letty was still chanting the spell and they needed that thing to connect all three of them, and that's when Gia used her 9 tails and got all them bitches together, literally, which was a cool scene. And I guess took that shit away from Christina. But I thought Tick was going to somehow survive that, just that small bit of hope. I thought he was going to survive there, but I said, this is a season finale. I don't think that's going to happen. They're going to kill, they're not going to just kill Christina off. They're going to kill somebody that we love off. And it was Tick.
Yeah.
Seeing Montrose stand over their body, like, boy, get up. Get up. Oh my God. They didn't get the tears out of me this week because I was too busy crying from last week though. But it was still like,
I still cry. I cried a little bit. I cried at that moment, especially when they were walking down the bridge and like they were carrying him, and I was just like, that's so sad.
When fucking Montrose was like, "All right, Tick, let's go."
right?
I was like, I don't have any kids, but like that pain of like not acknowledging what's going on, man.
And then it was like, well, got one last secret, and he pretty much just knew that he was going to die, and he was like, hey, and just left that note for him, saying maybe you could be a better father to your grandchild and all that stuff. And I was just like, aw. So that was sad. I have another question. Where did all those white people come from when they were like getting like when they were all fighting? Like, did I miss something? Did like Christina summon them or something? Like, where did they come from?
They were the ones who stayed in the village in Artem, where Dale came from.
But okay, because that area just looked just done. So like,
well, the house was done, but the village itself wasn't destroyed.
So they just knew what was going on because they were getting like ticked together and putting stuff. Okay, that was just the confusing part to me. So I'm just like, all right, so do they know what's going on? Because they are just like buckling him up in the thing or whatever. I'm just like, all right, Christina, talk to these people. So I was just a little confused at that moment.
I wonder, I don't remember Jamie Chung's character's name, but like, does she have the power to pass life force back into Tick?
Gia.
Yeah, thank you. She's a succubus of some sort.
Yeah. Because we all know that she can see past and future when she obviously uses her stuff. But that is a good question. Like, I wonder if she could do that.
Hell, Hippolytus did the jump multiverses, so she could probably pull a Tick from another multiverse and bring his ass here.
Hello?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Guess what? That's season 2.
Oh my god!
I refuse to accept that I'm not gonna see Jonathan Majors next season. I refuse to accept this shit.
Yeah.
I don't. It doesn't sparkle with me. As they say on South Park, this shit does not sparkle. So
I just watched that episode this week. That's hilarious. But go ahead.
Let me ask you guys this then, because like I was kind of the way that it ends now, I was kind of ready to see like Dee's adventures, like her being the last bloodline and going on until George is of age or whatever.
And maybe that's why they ended it the way they did. Because maybe if they do season 2, maybe it's going to be just around D.
Maybe like a little, and like she's George's protector or something. I don't know.
And it makes sense given the fact that a lot of the characters from the book were switched to female. Like Dee was actually a boy, and
named Horace or something. Yeah, Horace, right? Yeah,
right. And Christina was Caleb. So that might be a way they go. But Misha Green's interview with Deadline is posted. I don't know if y'all want to hear anything about it. About season, like what she had in mind.
Oh, like just came out?
Yeah, it just came out.
Well, give us the deeds. Let's go.
Yeah. So Deadline actor. So with George's upcoming birth, Atticus's posthumous letter to Montrose, and Diana's bloody killing of Christina, sure feels like there's a second season coming. Is there, and how do you envision it? Misha answered, nothing is official yet, but I envision a second season that carries on the spirit of Matt Wolf's novel by continuing to reclaim the genre storytelling space that people of color have typically been left out of. Deadline then asked her, if viewers watch tonight's finale, the death of Atticus would be an emotional jolt, to put it lightly. Why did you decide his sacrifice was necessary, and will we see Jonathan return if there's a second season? Misha answered, with Atticus's arc, I wanted to explore the idea of a meaningful sacrifice, to take him on a journey from running from death to walking towards it with purpose. It was an emotional jolt in the writing, and even more so with the heartbreaking levels of Jonathan Majors imbued in the portrayal. Deadline then asked her, "What is the way you wanted the first season to end when you started on the project? Besides the process of adaptation, what was different, if anything?" Misha said, "Yes, this is the ending I knew we would be working towards from the beginning." And there's more to that. So y'all want to read later on down the line. But
Sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, can you text me the link?
yeah,
Thank you.
Send it to us through Discord because I want to see.
I definitely want to read the whole thing.
okay, and it's going to be posted.
Yeah, I'm curious to listen to the podcast to see what they have to say about this episode and their thoughts and stuff. So yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. It's fine.
No, I was just saying that I'm scared to go on Twitter because there's certain people that I follow and I get alerts from, and they're already sending in like comments saying like, "Well, I like the book better," and what did I just see? And I'm like, "Oh shit! I know Twitter's gonna have a damn field day with this." So unless y'all tweet something, I'm not gonna be on Twitter for a couple of days. I'm letting this shit die down.
And follow those people. I always say Twitter is what you make it. Get rid of those people. You know what I mean?
But they're
no negative. Oh, they're close people.
Yeah, they're close too.
Oh, there's a mute button.
Yeah.
Fair to compare the book to or the source material to the TV show in this aspect, just because. And I'm not saying he didn't do his research, and I have not read the book yet, but Matt Ruff is a white person talking about Black experiences versus Black people being in the driver's seat, directing, writing, and narrating the show. So I don't think it's exactly one for one to, the normal, hey, the book was better. Like, I enjoy most Anne Rice books versus the actual interpretation on film. I can say that. But it's never changed dramatically. Like, it's always pretty much, this is how we would do it on screen. It's not, this is the general idea, but now we're going to change gender. Now we're going to bring in historical things. And I think that's something we could do. I hate to use American Horror Story, but like, it could literally just go to 1960s and then like everything's surrounded by segregation. And then, go to the 70s and the next 80s, 90s, and just go over topical things for people of color per decade in an anthology type of way. Not to say that it has to do that, but like there's unfortunately plenty of stuff to work with.
Yeah. So if they was to do that, do you prefer that they get an all new cast, or do you want to see the same cast play different characters? Because I wouldn't mind either or, but the problem with the same cast playing different characters is if you are going to, if these worlds are connected and intertwined with each other, it's just like how you're going to make that work. But now, no, never mind, because American Horror Story does that. Because American Horror Story, they intertwine with each other, and they just got them dressed up in their characters and just conversing with each other that way. Like they literally be like on the same episode as two different characters from different seasons. So they could make it work, but I'm not too sure if they want to go that route. You know what I mean?
I would say maybe not the same way, because I guess the one thing that we've learned from George and refuse to accept is that he's dead.
Yeah.
We just got him back in that one flashback multiverse type episode. So I could see, a ratings boost of like Tick will be featured in this episode, or Letty will be featured in this episode as some type of spiritual guide and or flashback, but never a full-time character again.
Yeah, I like
that's
that.
not what I want, by the way. It's not.
Yeah.
But
if they was to do that, then I mean, I'd be okay with it. I would be okay with that if they was to do that. I mean, that's not what I want either, but I mean, if it happens, then hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how would y'all see like a Lovecraft country set in today's time? Like, how would that be? Like, how would that look in y'all eyes? Like, seeing all of this go on in the 1950s, how can we see this happen like in 2020? Like,
I think 2020, the way it's unfolding would be the perfect year for Lovecraft Country to continue.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
But how would that like work? Because Letty told Christina we banned magic for all white people. And I was like, so if we get magic, I won't sound like I'm cynical. It's just that if we get magic, then if come on now, let's just be real. Let's be honest. We can't imagine Trump ass not being in office right now. I'm just gonna put it out there. It'd be a lot of stuff, working in our favor. I'm just gonna be like, he will not be in office. It'll be just like little, things be going great, but unless, well, then again, you can get somebody who was like those. I don't want to bash anybody for the political stance though, but like somebody like Candace Owens might get a hold of some magic or something like that, and then try to sit there and like, well, we don't need this magic, and then they get into contact with somebody who is the descendants of the brother of Artem, and like, here, I found a way to get this back to y'all. Like, look, there was a reason why we sat there and cursed. We banned magic from all white folks. So here you go, look it up from us. That's one way you can do it, but I don't. Yeah. I mean, this anyways.
All right, this is far fetched, but the wheels started turning. So I'm just going to preface it with that. I mean, you could use it as a thing if we were going to take real life events of magic is allowed by black people, not by white people. However, at some point, Barack Obama becomes president, and then he decides to use magic as POTUS. And because he is half white, that gives magic back to white people. Trump puts people on it, he comes into power. And then the struggle is taking the magic back. Yeah.
Biracial folk.
I like that.
And that's crazy because that is something, because I mean he's biracial.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
not that I would want that.
That's something though.
That's just scarier.
Yeah.
Kind of hot though, because she does mix in real life events. And it's not like nobody has done it before. I mean, you got American Horror Story with Marie Laveau and shit like that. So,
that's why I appreciate these shows, because it's like, even though all this stuff is not real, but they insert real life events and history into these shows and like intertwine it with each other and stuff. And the show's doing the same thing. You got like real life stuff, and I guess a lot of people feel some type of way about it. Especially, I guess, mainly that Emmett Till episode. Like, a lot of people got more upset with that one. They're like, oh, well, why they have to, if they're not going to talk about the whole entire thing, then like, why put it in there at all? I'm just like, well, if they was to put like those clips and like all that stuff in there, people would be more upset than, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they did, like, how they handled everything on here was fine. Like, it was perfect. Like, it was no need for us to revisit.
Right.
We know it. And I mean, yeah, some people do need to see that. But for this show, I feel like it's unnecessary to add that to this show.
Right.
That's a whole different serious situation. So I think they handled it pretty nicely on this show. So I don't get why people bitch and complain about putting history stuff into shows like this. I don't know.
It's stupid. I just feel like, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but like I always tell people, make sure that it's not, make sure it doesn't like, make sure it's a sound opinion, because basically anything that we, any type of TV show, American Horror Story is always surrounded, like I said earlier, stuff around real life events. You know what I'm saying? Why did it? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, hell, they were talking about with the Tulsa massacre. It was just like, people needed to hear. I mean, I felt like Watchmen did not. It brought it to white people's eyes, but I feel like Lovecraft Country put us in the middle of it, and it probably made a lot of people be more, aware of like, the Tulsa massacre and want to go back and look at it and stuff. And but it's like we have to accept that that's our history, and that when we go back in time, if we have any type of story that's set back in time, whether it's supernatural or not, we got to deal with it because it affected our entire community. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we don't want to devote a whole episode to Emmett Till.
Right.
We all know that. In other words, you should know that. Everybody should know that history. Just know that it takes place around this time period. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, not saying that they shouldn't like say something. They said what they had to say. Sometimes you don't need something beat over your head every 5 minutes. That's with critical thinking, and to sit there and be like, okay, this is taking place during this time period. Move on. We all know what happened. So I don't think that should have been a thing.
In this episode, they gave you just the right information. Like, if you didn't know anything about Emmett Till, they made it very much like known. Like, all right, maybe I should do research on this or whatever, because you have even Christina wanting to experience, how, what he went through and things like that. So they talk about it enough on the show where I feel like, all right, maybe I should look up this real life situation that happened. You don't have to sit there and actually go too deep in it. So I don't know. I don't know what people want anymore. I just don't. But I'm happy. Kind of a little off subject though. Same subject, off subject. When I sent y'all through Discord the thing about Misha Green responding to about the misused character of Yahima.
Mm-hmm.
I am happy that she said something about that. Because I think that was part of the reason why, at least for me and Ryan, that episode was like it just go further and further down on the list, just because like the misuse of that character, where I feel like that character could have been very, very useful in this season, especially with all this stuff that happened in the season finale. I feel like Yahima could have like did some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
No, I would just say she mentioned it in a Deadline article too, so y'all can look at that when y'all get a chance.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why I brought that up, but I guess I'm just bringing up all my issues. But since this is the last after show,
yeah, I'm about to say it's the finale. It's like that perfect place to redig up all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other, I guess, unanswered questions that happen in this season so far?
I kind of want to know what happened to, what's his name, Jimmy or James?
Which one was James? Which one was that?
Montrose's lover.
Oh, Sammy.
Yeah.
I mean Sammy. Sorry,
Sammy.
Want to know what happened?
That's a damn good question.
Yeah, he kind of just left. I mean, not left him, but it kind of just dropped off.
I guess it was like, I'm gonna let this shit die down if I slide back over here.
You know what? We never get a confession out of Montrose. Like, talking about Yahima and,
that's
like
true.
his secrets, or Sammy for that matter, which is not a secret anymore.
Yeah.
Presumably Tick dies not knowing the truth about anything other than it might not be his father.
Yeah.
Man.
You're right about that, because he didn't really confess about killing her. Not that anybody knew except for Letty and Tick, but like I remember like that next episode after like he killed her. Sorry for the loud car noise, y'all. He didn't necessarily say he killed her. I think him and Tick just had like this kind of like eye contact or whatever or something. Like it wasn't like he didn't say out his mouth that he killed Yahima or whatever. But I mean, and then I guess Tick told Letty, and that's all that really needs to be said, because nobody else knew about her. You know what I mean? Like it's not like Ruby knew or whoever knew, and it was like, oh, well, why would you kill her? Nobody knew nothing about her.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Justice for Yahima. I'll drink one for her and Ruby, even though I don't think she's dead.
Here.
I hope that we get season 2 to
Yes,
find out.
season 2, and whatever how it goes, I just want to know. Like, I'm curious to know if it's like what Grae was saying. It's going to take place in a different decade. We're going to get same characters, not the same characters. It's going to follow D. I prefer that it continues and follow D because I want to know more of that story, and I want to know more about these people. Like, I didn't get enough of Hippolyta. I didn't get enough of Letty. I still didn't get enough of these characters. And even though they gave us a lot in this season, I still want more. Maybe I'm just being greedy, but
no, I feel like you do. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was agreeing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I do prefer if we continue on with these characters and maybe we'll get something with D, like Grae said, because they're not going to just leave us off with that Jurassic Park ending. Like, it's come on, like that was Jurassic Park. Yeah. The damn Shoggoth and the moon behind it and the Warren, like,
yeah.
I do have one last question though. When Dee stood over Christina, she said they still haven't learned. I'm trying to figure out, was she talking about her family, or was she talking about Christina and like the I think she's talking about her family. Because she came back after they just sat there and left her there.
That's true. They did just like leave her, and I'm assuming they didn't know nothing about her and the Shoggoth because that happened in a different, like they weren't near each other, and I'm pretty sure. So after they carrying Atticus' body, down the bridge, I'm like, oh, where is D? And then that's when that happened with Christina. But I don't know. Maybe they passed each other, and D was like, "Mom, I'll be right back. I gotta take care of something real quick." I don't know.
That's a good question because, like, they could have just used the Shoggoth to carry Tick's body back instead of them carrying.
Hello, right? I don't know, but that is interesting that she said they still haven't learned. If she was talking about her family, is Mark frozen? Is he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he disappeared. Poor dude. He'll be back.
I'm trying to process this in real time because, like, if D is operating on the same timeline but also a different timeline, like, how did they not pass each other?
Right. Exactly. So I'm assuming that they did pass each other, and maybe she was saying, meant by white people, but it would be interesting if she was talking about them. Then it's just like, well, damn, are you beefing with your moms and them now? I don't think you want to do that. Just because you got the Shoggoth, don't act brand new. And that mechanical arm, like, I'm pretty sure your mom would snatch that shit right off.
I think she probably was trying to like say, don't leave them up, don't leave her alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think she was talking about like Christina and like just white folk or whatever, and she was talking to the Shoggoth when she was saying that. Like, I feel like that's like her buddy now, so she's just like, they still don't learn, man. So I don't know. It was an interesting ending though. Like that last shot, I like that last shot, but I didn't prefer that for like a season finale. You know what I mean? Like, with all of this happening, I didn't expect that last shot to be that. And if that's why I want to like listen to the podcast and listen to more interviews with like Nietzsche Green and stuff, just to see what was her vision behind that. Like, what was the purpose between that last? Like, what was the reason for that last shot? Like, did something happen and we missed it? Did we see like Uncle George appear like right underneath the Shoggoth? We didn't see it. I don't know. I wanna know why that last shot. I just want to know why they chose that specifically. because it's very interesting. Or they just was like, hey, well, this would be cool. We've got nothing else going on, so let's just make this the last shot, and they just gonna have to be happy with it.
Yeah.
It just jars me because I feel like I was slapped. I felt when that black screen hit and they came back with that credits, I was like, I felt like I've been slapped hard.
Yeah.
I want to say that if we're gonna go with the full circle motif, Ruby is the only person that died and or black woman that didn't grow stronger due to the death of a black male in their lives. Like everyone else lost a black person and became stronger. Ruby was tied to a white woman and a white man, however you want to look at that, and she died. I don't know if that's an intentional subliminal race thing of stronger together.
I didn't look at it like that. That's interesting, though.
Because that's what I was thinking. Like, Dee went through episode 8, and she didn't look like she won, but then she came back stronger than ever, kind of like Hippolyta did.
True. She's not dead. Y'all need to stop saying that.
Ruby?
Yeah, Ruby is not dead. Okay. You know what? I did think she was going to do something stupid, like you said, though, Mark. Like, I thought, like, because especially when her and Letty was at the cemetery and they were like talking, and I'm just like, don't tell me this lady got you just caught up in love or just caught up just in this whole weird situation where, like, even though you got this little thing going on with your sister, it's just like that's still your sister. You know what I mean? Regardless of what she did. So that's why I believed it when, you know, before they got in the car and we see Ruby like come up with the little potion. I'm just like, oh, well, she had to change her heart or something like that. Like, because that's her sister.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why that part shocked me, because I'm just like, all right, so the whole time that was Christina. And I know, so it was just, I don't know.
And it's crazy because the thing that pissed me off is when Christina told Tick, yeah, you probably got away with it if Ruby wasn't in on the situation. I'm like, God damn it. So at the end of the day, she still fucked up, but not intentionally. It was just the fact that I know what's going on, therefore, yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, oh, sometimes you gotta leave some people out of plans or some shit, you know? Like,
you ain't lying.
Like, damn. Because I believe that if Letty and Ruby did not have that conversation, then Ruby probably would not have went back and said anything to Athena.
Yeah.
So, she tried to help, but it was like, you know, if she was still in the dark about what was going on, then she probably been just as helpful being oblivious than, you know, knowing.
Right.
So, she better be season, though. I agree with you on that, Bob. She better be back next season.
She better. Look, she was giving my life ever since episode 1 when they were showing her on that stage singing. So,
yeah. She's and the actress did such a good job portraying her. Like, she killed that role.
Yeah.
I used to babysit a girl who is the height, the facial structure, and the demeanor of Ruby. That's why I love the actress so much, because she reminds me of this girl I used to babysit, and now she's like standing tall over me. And so it's like when I see her, I see my her whose name is Asia. I see Asia when I see Ruby, or when I see the actress. Wani or Winnie, how you pronounce her name?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
she's gonna be in a new horror movie. I seen a trailer. Actually, I seen it from you, Mark. I think you posted it or something.
Is it his house or his home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks really good. So, yes, I see people is getting work. I love it.
Yes.
Bring your ass to season 2 when it happens.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, I guess before we go, because I feel like we discussed everything that happened in this episode. Final thoughts on this episode before we go to our rating.
I just need
Season 2.
2. HBO, please. Please, please, please. Bad Robot, wherever else is in charge.
Monkey Paw.
Monkey Paw.
Yeah, Monkey Paw.
So, Ryan, you got any final thoughts?
Season 2, like Grae said.
Marky Mark.
Season 2. I'm like Claudia. I want some more. I want some more. Like I need to see some more.
Mhm.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
Make sure if y'all do bring back Jonathan Majors, make sure it's a clause in his contract to be naked at least 80% of the damn time. So I'm just saying.
We're not going to get into that tonight.
That's complex.
Yeah. God. Okay. Well, same here. Season 2. This episode was cool. I'm not going to say I'm disappointed. It's just that I just expected more. Is it in my top? That's still to be determined. That's why I'm letting you guys go first, and I can think about that quickly. Ryan, you know what? I'm gonna choose you just because I feel like you already said it's not in your top, and you already seem like you got it like set in stone. So I'm letting you go first.
My favorite episode is still episode 9. So rewind 1921. I am episode 7 is still my number 2. Number 3 is Holy Ghost for me. Sundown is my 4th favorite. 5th favorite is Strange Case. Next is Jigabobo, and then comes Full Circle. So the 7th. Then after that for me is Meet Me in Daegu, because I like Full Circle more than Meet Me in Daegu personally. And then A History of Violence, and then Whitey's on the Moon.
Okay.
So so it fell into space 7 for me. I mean, I just kind of feel like nothing is going to top Rewind, I Am, and Holy Ghost for me. Like, those were the standouts of the season for me. I feel like those were just really, really strong episodes. Everything else, I guess, when I rewatch it, could actually shift around a bit. But those were my top 3 favorites, and Full Circle's like nowhere near it. So,
don't. He's not going to get out that quickly. I'll find you.
I guess Mark didn't want to go next.
He set you up, Grae.
Yeah, he needs more time.
I really wish I had written this down, but I'm going to go with
God.
Holy Ghost is still my number 1, followed by Rewind 1921, I Am, Jigabobo. I'm going to say Strange Case was next. And the one that's moved the most for me is Sundown. Or I'm sorry, not Sundown. Full Circle will take the spot of Sundown.
Okay.
And then Sundown. Originally, I was so attached to Sundown because it's what sold me on the series. And I was just like, it was a great way to get started. But in hindsight, it's not as once I got to see these other episodes, I just cherish it more.
Oh yeah, totally.
Strange Case, and then A History of Violence. Which Strange Case is the highest rated episode next to the debut. Wow.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah. I say that as to tell you how low it is on the list. I know I've ranked it higher before because I was, enchanted by the episode, but as we progress, obviously shifted.
I can see how though, because Strange Case is very it's out there. And I'm not saying there's other episodes that's out there, but that episode is it's gross and out there. It's not like
Yeah.
I am out. It's not like I am and out there, because I am is literally out there, like literally.
Yeah.
Um, where strange cases like out there in a way is like that's like who thinks of shit like this? Like what's going on? That's gross. But still,
Right.
you can't turn you can't turn away from it. You have to watch it. So okay, Mark, you got your list together while you set Grae up.
Yeah. Oh, I apologize. That was my, but mine is episode 9 is still number 1. Number 2
Mhm.
is episode 8. Numbers 3 is episode 7. Number 4 is episode 5. Number 5 is episode 3. Then it's episode 1. Then it's episode 2. Episode 10. Episode 6. And episode 4.
History of Violence is your last one.
Mm-hmm.
No, I guess that didn't set well with any, or depending on what you're about to say, Bobby. But
No, like History of Violence, I enjoyed that one actually. It's just like, again, going back, it's just that last, I guess it's just the Yahima part, you know what I mean? Like that kind of like it ruined it for me a little bit, because like I did want to see more with that character, but overall that episode was a lot of fun. Like I remember when we were talking about it, like that episode was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself watching it, but it's just all these other episodes, man. It's just like and I say this every week, every time a new one come out, you just be like, damn, like it just gets better and better.
Right.
I could see, and obviously this wasn't the case, otherwise they would have already fessed up to it. If the treatment of Yahima was just supposed to be representative of the way we've treated indigenous people or Native Americans throughout history, I think that would have been more purposeful if they had thought about that.
Yeah.
And the way they just discarded the character.
Yeah. Well,
I believe, and you have to fact check me on this, but Native Americans weren't even considered Americans until the 1920s or some shit like that.
Yeah, I knew that.
Real recent.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They'll learn, I guess, from their mistakes on this one. I mean, Misha Green said it like she was like, it's not like it wasn't no attention or whatever. So.
Yeah.
Well, my list is top one is going to be Rewind 1921, because that episode I feel like that's just going to be the most powerful episode in my opinion. I mean, judging by all our lists, I guess it is. I am, because Hippolyta is that biatch.
Yes.
I go back and forth between Jigabobo and Holy Ghost, but I might have to. I don't know. Those two is like back and forth, but I might have to put Jigabobo and then Holy Ghost. Even though I love Holy Ghost so much, I was so hyped on that episode. But Jigabobo, man, I don't know. That was on another level. Then Sundown. Then this episode, Full Circle. Meet Me in Dago. No. What I'm doing? Before Meet Me in Dago is Strange Case. Then Meet Me in Dago. Then History of Violence, and then Whitey's on the Moon. I almost forgot about Strange Case. How dare me?
The audacity.
Yeah, I
Wasn't
can't.
I don't think I placed Whitey's on the Moon, but I'll put that at my end.
Yeah. Whitey's on the Moon. I mean, we have this discussion every fucking week, like every week. And it's like, and we all say it's not a horrible episode, like it's not bad, but like with all these other episodes, it just falls to the bottom of the list just because of the type of content it is. It just is better shit. So yeah. I'm curious to. I was surprised that Sam. I said Sam. What I'm talking about? I'm thinking of the Nickelodeon show. See, I'm drinking too much.
Wow.
Oh God.
No. Never mind. I'm not. I'll. Never mind. Never mind. So anyway, guys. That's my list, and yeah, hopefully we get a season 2 very soon, and we'll get some questions answered if they do continue off this arc. If not, then I guess we're open to something new. Who knows? So, any final words, guys, before we go?
I'll see you guys next fall because we're going to get season 2.
Hey, buddy, you like late? We about to leave, but hi from
What's up?
Yeah, we're all from different, cities and stuff here. But hey,
Home of the
hello.
cyclones.
Yeah.
You the home of the what?
Cyclones.
Oh, cycle.
Oh,
man.
no,
Yeah, next fall if they do it, but with the pandemic going on, I don't even know if it would be next fall if they announce another season. It'll probably be like 2022.
That's a nightmare.
I know.
Because people might get them automatically assume that it's canceled. That's what I'm scared for a lot of these shows. Is people gonna automatically assume something's canceled because it's not on TV and they're not gonna take into effect that the pandemic has pushed a lot of shows to January of next year.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I have people text me all the time like, it's almost November. Why ain't something come back on yet? I was like, January? Pandemic?
I was about to say pandemic. Hello. Like, are y'all like unaware what the fuck is going on around the world? Like it affects celebrities and all those people too that need to work. Like, I mean, not just us little people. So God. Well, guys, this was fun. It's been a fun, I guess, 10 weeks.
Yeah.
10 weeks. It just flew by. It's crazy. We're almost in November. We're almost at November right now, and we started this in August. And I just want to say thank you guys for joining. Talk about this. Are you sure you're not
just
drinking?
Water. No, I swear it was just water. No, I knew you were going to say that. Back to sitting casually. Continue.
Okay, Ryan. I don't believe you. That's clear. It might be vodka up in there.
Oh my God. I knew a girl in high school that used to put Everclear in Deer Park bottles and drink
Everclear in high school?
Yes.
Yes.
I hope she never watches this. But yeah.
I mean, that was like 85 years ago. She'll be all right. Like,
okay, that's true. But no, yeah.
Y'all adults.
Yeah. And she used to just drink it throughout the day.
In high school. Wow. I wish I had that mindset.
I had people
still
snorting shit off the desk in high school. They were snorting
stuff
doing
out
the desk. We was in class. Somebody was snorting. They said it was pixie dust. What's the pixie sticks?
Ooh.
They were sitting in class snorting there, and I'm like,
what high school y'all be going to? What high school y'all went to?
I was just like, it's not that bad.
What's going on?
Shit, the country folk buying shit.
Damn, man.
Dude,
my high school.
I'm good. I'm all right with it. I ain't gonna fuck with it.
My high school was a little crazy too, but we weren't snorting shit off no damn desk.
Boy,
I was scared to have a drink in high school. Okay.
I can't even speak on. Never mind. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah. My high school was wild.
Apparently, I mean, if you're drinking, what's Everclear, like 180, 190 proof? And
It was
you're
strong.
drinking
I
that in
didn't
high
drink any
school?
of it. Yeah, but it was strong.
Whatever. What's local here? Like Aristocrat. I thought high school started with that first.
What's Aristocrat? What is that?
What is it?
That's like the Walmart version of vodka.
Oh, child.
Like the bottom shelf stuff.
No, we was on that. Well, not we. Hold on. Ooh, she was on that Everclear.
No, you said we at first.
Why accidentally telling yourself though?
It's okay. You're in good company here, Ryan. It's fine.
Thank you.
Well, guys, again, just thank you for doing this with me. On here, it's been a lot of fun talking about this crazy ass show. And I want to say thank you to Jazz and Kat as well, and Zoe for being on here and talking. Obviously, thanks to you guys, and I think that's it. I don't think anybody else was on here. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun talking about this crazy ass show, and hopefully in season 2 we'll all get back together and do this again. I was hoping for season finale tonight that everybody was able to make it, but people got stuff going on, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Life happens. So yeah, season 2. Hopefully we can do this again and turn up. I guess I don't know. And I'm gonna read the book now. Now that the show is over, like I told you guys, I'm halfway through the book and I stopped because I just want to enjoy the show. So now that the show is over, I'm just going to finish the rest of the book and make my comparisons as well. I was going to ask you, Mark, about more stuff about the book, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to like ruin it for me because I still want to read it. So,
oh, Mark, you finished it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I'm read that because I don't want to spoil anything for y'all.
Yeah, don't. I'm halfway through. I should be done like in a week.
Able to like have more Lovecraft Country and stuff to look forward to. I don't. I'm just tapped out. It's like fuck, So.
I want merch. I want a Lovecraft Country shirt.
It's coming.
I know it is. I want a shirt with Topsy and Bopsy on it. I want one with Hippolyta and with Beyonce up in space. I want a lot.
I want the pops when they do them. I'm going to pick up all the pops, the Funko Pops.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yes. I know they're doing pops. If they're doing pops, I'm buying like all of them.
And all black creators, can we please get y'all to start like merchandising this stuff? Because I will most definitely buy from y'all.
Yes.
Most definitely.
I can't wait. Because I feel like it's going to be merch.
Oh yeah, totally.
I was trying to make a really cool sentence and then my brain just.
So there was ever clearing your bottle.
I was just about to say
I would be toe up.
Mark, you beat me to it.
This bottle was full when we started. You know how toe up I would be?
Well, I don't know. Some folks can't take liquor so easily. You know what I'm saying? Some folks are champs,
Yeah,
especially when you've been drinking since high school. I mean,
right. Especially at
y'all didn't have a drink in high school. Come on, really? None of y'all?
I had a drink though, but
lie.
I never in my life did I drink anything over 100 proof in school.
I didn't look.
I didn't ask that. I said, "Did you have a drink in high school, sir?"
I didn't look. Go ahead.
Probably.
Oh,
I would say probably.
I told you I used to try to sneak, so that shows right there that I barely drunk in high school at all. So
I feel very judged because I partied and lived the Degrassi life that y'all was just praising at the beginning of this episode.
All right, first of all, that's not Degrassi life.
It was my Degrassi, okay? Degrassi PG.
That was your Formula life, okay?
Listen.
I drunk at home. I didn't drink at school. Me and my cousins hit my dad's bar up, and that was about it. One time.
Oh yeah, after school or weekends or whatever. Sure, I'm talking specifically in school.
Oh
yeah,
that wasn't a thing.
It happens.
Nah.
I had a rough what was I taking in high school? A rough algebra test, and I had to take the cap off.
Oh, right.
No choices.
It's one of the teachers like, can I have some? Y'all stressing me today. I need a sip.
No, I'm not going. I'm telling them already too much.
Lush, all of you.
But Lovecraft merch, yeah, give it to me.
Lovecraft merch,
yeah, I'm here for it. Merch, some shirts, the Funko Pops, give it to me all. I'm so curious of what they're going to do and how they're going to look. So I'm surprised they didn't start it. Well, I'm pretty sure they probably started making some already. As far as I'm pretty sure they're in the works now, making the pops and stuff. I'm sure they are. Yeah. I will say probably by hopefully Christmas or like beginning of next year that they'll show like a picture of like some Funko Pops or like maybe even some cool merch or something. It has to be around close to that time.
I want that poster behind you on a shirt.
What poster? Oh, well, it's not a poster. It's a picture.
I'm just saying I want that on a shirt, like, or a poster or something.
I want a poster of that. I actually want this in the poster, like on my wall. Right now it's just green, but it's green. Guys, almost got a Charlie horse that didn't feel good. All right, let me get off of here. All right, guys, thanks again for joining me. Hopefully we can do this very soon. Maybe another show will come out and we just like, hey, let's do this shit. But in the meantime, until next time, season 2 Lovecraft Country. I guess I'll see you then. I'm speaking into existence. It's going to happen. So
it's going to happen.
Yeah, and Ruby's still alive. So yeah,
I don't know about that one.
Ruby's still alive.
Don't do that. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. See you whenever. But before we go, I'm about to like exit out, and I gotta talk about you guys. Before we go, where can we find you guys? Where can everybody find you guys? Ryan, since you're next to me, start with you. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Brother Ghoulish on IG and Twitter, and listen to my podcast, Brother Ghoulish's Tomb, wherever podcasts are played.
Hey, love the new episode, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Work the other day.
Thanks.
I was like, oh, you got connects and shit too. Okay.
Man, I had so much fun doing it too because like
I can tell.
Yeah, it was like I was having a blast. Like I've been lucky that like everyone I've had on so far, I've actually had like a really damn good time with. Like it was a blast, man. So
yeah. Well, awesome. Mark, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at the Anti-Critic, and on Instagram, Marco Estes or Midnight Social Distortion on Instagram. If again, like I said last week, if y'all add me on Marco Estes, please have something detailing that you're actually saying and not trying to sell Bitcoin, or add me to the Illuminati or something else crazy like that. So let's add just come correct.
yes.
So do you get a lot of people that come incorrect?
I've deleted a lot of people.
Okay.
Yeah, I've deleted a lot of requests because I can look at their profiles and tell that they were on some bullshit. So, yeah.
Got you. I mean, that's true. I do the same thing. If I see some stuff, but then sometimes I just let them follow. I don't interact with them. They'll unfollow themselves or to get blocked or do something. I don't know. If you follow me, I'm not following you back. It is what it is. Like, I mean, especially if you're a bot, like I'm not going to follow that back.
Yeah.
Grae, where can everybody find you?
On Instagram and Twitter, you can find me at Grae himself. I think I got the right side. It should be right there. And I am updating my blog, so littleshopofterrors.com, detail other things I'm working on. I promise there will be updates this week.
Hey,
sweet.
Looking forward to it. And by the way, I love your latest episode as well with Nay. Hey,
Nay was fun.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that didn't make it into the episode, but
I'm sure because y'all like to talk. Nay like to talk, so I'm pretty sure that like ran a little longer.
It did. Yeah. We'll definitely have her back.
I'm happy you finally got her.
Yeah, fun fact, it took about a year for this to happen.
Oh my god.
But we're glad it did, and it finally did. So
that's awesome. Yay. I wish I had Ash here so she can just like say your name and her seductive
her voice.
It's gotten so sultry, like each successive episode.
Yes.
I love it.
Jason Takes Manhattan one, I didn't know what was going on, but I was like, this needs to be my ringtone. It's almost like ASMR at this point.
Mm-hmm. Dude, no lie. When she first did it, I was at work. Because sometimes when it's still at work, I just have like my earpods in and I listen to you guys' podcast. And when she did that, I was in the middle of drinking like my orange juice. Now, no lie, I'm not exaggerating. I spit my shit out. It's like it just went all on my work computer and everything.
Oh.
Like, yo, why would she do that?
She catches us off guard. There's outtakes of that as well, where it just like seriously derailed the show. And I was like, no one else needs to hear this.
Oh man, yeah, you guys are a lot of fun. But thank you guys for being here. I keep saying it over and over again, and I see
Thanks for having us. It's been fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're welcome. You know, you guys are the shit. I like y'all a lot. So of course.
Thanks, Bobby.
Of course. And it's just not that I have too many people on here watch or anything, but when it is uploaded, like people do watch. Because I know that we do this kind of late and it's on a Sunday, so I know people got work or just don't want to be up late. So I understand why there's not too many people that be on here like that, but people do watch after like it's uploaded the next day. So I just want people to find you guys as well. That's another reason why I do this, just so you know they can hear not just our conversation and our thoughts on the show, but so people can find you guys as well.
Yeah.
Put each other on. So that's another reason why I like to do this. So
thank you.
That's where it's at, man. And I appreciate it because like when you first started inviting me on, I was only like 2 or 3 episodes into the tomb. Like I didn't, this is like my chance to like go and do something else and get more comfortable doing it. So I appreciate it.
No, of course. Look, it's all fun. You know what I mean? It's all fun.
Yeah.
It's like as unprofessional I am at times and stuff. It's just
nothing's more unprofessional than that Everclear rant I just took you guys down. So I think you're fine. I mean, I think you're okay.
Oh Lord. Well, well, guys, this is it. Bye. Happy Spookies because we're in October, and watch all the horror movies you can. And That's it. Bye, guys. See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.